Today, we're going on a little journey, but not just through a landscape of forests and lakes. We're exploring the landscape of a language. We're going to dig into the unique, logical structure of Finnish and see how it's basically built from the ground up, just like the natural world around it. So let's just dive right in with a puzzle. Imagine you want to say you're going to the beach. In English, that little word to is absolutely essential, right? But what if your language just didn't use it? How in the world would you express that simple idea? Well, the answer is surprisingly elegant, and it gets right to the heart of how Finnish works. You see, the whole secret is just a different way of thinking. Instead of having a bunch of separate little words like in, on, or from, Finnish thinks in building blocks. It builds meaning by attaching ideas directly onto words, kind of like snapping together pieces of Lego. And now there's a fancy official term for this, agglutination. It sounds super complex, I know, but it's really just a word for gluing. Instead of saying a separate word like in, you just glue a special little ending that means in right onto the word itself. Simple as that. Okay, so every journey needs a way to get started. For us, that's going to be our handle, the tool we're going to use to move through this language. And our very first handle is the verb to go. In Finnish, that verb is mennä. This is what's called the infinitive, the basic raw form. Think of it as the core of our tool, ready for us to customize. And here's how we hold that handle. If I go, the ending changes to n, menin. But if we go, it becomes meme, meneme. See that? Even the idea of who is doing the action is just another little piece we attach. So, we have our action, we go, and we know who's going. Now for the real magic. How do we connect that action to an actual place out there in the world? Well, this is where those little attachments called case endings come into play. Let's watch how this works. It's really just a simple 3-step process. First, you take your location, ranta, which means beach. Second, you choose your direction. The attachment for to is le. And finally, you just snap them together, ranale. And boom, just like that, the entire phrase to the beach becomes a single word. And here's what that looks like all put together in a sentence. Me meneme usein rannale. If you translate it literally, it says, we go often beach too. The word order feels a little different from English, sure, but the logic is crystal clear because that direction is built right into the destination. Now, this system, it isn't just for physical locations. It also works for abstract ideas, which is where things get really fascinating. For example, the attachment sta means from. But get this, in Finnish, to say you like something, the logic is that you hold an opinion from it. It's a completely different way to frame the whole idea of preference. And here is that exact concept in action. Minä pitään merestä literally translates to, I like sea from. Vaimoni pitää enemmän järvistä is, my wife likes more lakes from. You just take the root word for sea, meri, add that nis ta ending, and you get merestä. The system is just beautifully consistent. All right, we have our basic tools down. Now, let's expand our little journey by combining these building blocks to explore more of the Finnish natural world. Okay, check this out. We like also mountains to going from. This is incredible, right? We've combined everything we've learned. Vuorelle is mountains to, and menemissaska is going from. So the sentence literally says, we get enjoyment from the very act of going to the mountains. It's a whole concept, a whole feeling, built with just a few attachments. And our journey continues. Take a look at this sentence. Weekends at we go sometimes, trip on forest into. Just look at all those attachments doing the heavy lifting. The ending anla means we're going on a trip, and that an ending on metsä, or forest, means we are going into it. So much information packed into single words. Here's a handy little chart that's kind of like a GPS for our journey. You can really see the pattern clearly here. You have the root word for a place, like ranta for beach or sari for island, and you just attach the correct ending to say exactly what your relationship to it is. Are you going to it, into it, or on it? So now our journey takes us to a river, a joki, and a bridge, a silta. And look at how the logic is just built right into the sentence structure. Bastiksen joen toiselle puille, that's to get river of other side to. Even possession of the river is just another attachment. The logic is always right there on the surface. Okay, so far we've mostly been describing a journey. How about we become active participants?
Let's actually shift our verb from we go to an invitation. Let's go. And to do that, we just need to change our handle one more time. The form mennan is a suggestion, an invitation. It means let's go. It's one single word that pulls us all into the action together.
So where are we all going? Mennan, let's go. Our final route is going to take us through the hills, the Kukkuloiden, and past the lake, Järven. As you can see, we might even spot a niitto, a meadow. With just a few words, we're building an entire scene. And as we're walking, we spot a vesipitus, a waterfall. So how do you ask a question in Finnish? You probably already guessed it with another attachment. You just add ko to the verb. So night means you saw, but nightgo becomes did you see? The question mark is literally glued right onto the verb itself. It's so efficient. All right, on our journey, we've reached a fork in the road. We've got a choice to make. We look at one path, one polku, and we decide that trail is too steep. Liian jyrkkä. So we make our decision. Otetaan mieluummin tämä polku. Let's take this path instead. With one final, decisive choice. We continue on our way, having built the language to describe our journey every single step of the way. And that really leaves us with a final thought, doesn't it? We've seen how Finnish provides these incredible logical building blocks to construct meaning. It doesn't just give you words for things, it gives you the tools to define your relationship to them. So, if your language works like that, if it gives you the power to attach meaning and literally build your own path, where will you choose to go?